Let's see where it's going to be here. And we got a third. No, Billie Eilish.
All right, Billie Eilish. She's like the epitome of teen angst. Like, she looks like her parents are at the height of a divorce, and her dad like just asked if she can go out to dinner to meet his new girlfriend.
She does.
Very nice. All right, go ahead, spin. This will be joke number 3.
Here's a song about something that didn't go wrong in my life.
Exactly. And global warming.
Global warming. I don't get why they call these people who are all riled up about global warming snowflakes.
Nice. I like that. That's good. That's good. All right, the final.
That's perfect. That's
Yes.
astute. Short and sweet. That's funny.
The coronavirus.
The coronavirus. Okay, the first time I actually heard about the coronavirus, I was the outbreak. I was with a buddy of mine who doesn't speak English very well, and I just kept looking over at him, and he's murmuring to himself. He's like, "Corona, corona." He's like, "Now I get punished for not leasing my vehicle." Corona, corona. A little bit of a push there, guys. All right, thanks.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GOVSradio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichello, he says, we're on TV! And yes, indeed we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill, and we got a great show for you today. We got Mike Burton is here, special guest. Looking forward to having him on the show and see what all of you guys think about him. He's hilarious, a lot of fun stories and great insight on comedy. And speaking of comedy, here he is, folks, my good buddy, Benny Gagoots Rizzuti. Benny, how you doing, pal?
Hey, I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, man.
I'm still on Mars. See, I'm still on Mars, man.
Yeah, you're on Mars, and now you've made friends with the Martians, and they're all just kind of looking at you.
Yeah, they actually they made me like some kind of a king or something. They said dinner is gonna be delicious.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Yeah. They're fattening you up and getting you ready for dinner, right? They said they were gonna have you for dinner. And
yeah, they said, Benny, we want to have you for dinner. I said, yeah, okay. I'm here waiting.
There you go.
I'm having a grand old time. I'm loving Mars, man. I don't think I'm ever coming back.
I know. You're doing great up there in Mars. And the rover just landed in there. It's driving around, and, it's going to see you guys.
We're having fun with the rover, too. You know, we're digging holes when the camera's not in our sight. I'm digging these friggin' potholes, and then we're just watching the rover go... just fall into. We're having a pisser with it. They haven't seen us. They have no idea that there's life on Mars.
Yeah, they don't know. We're the only ones that know.
Yeah.
It's us and everyone watching right now. This is great.
You're the only people who know that there is actual life on Mars. And it's me and my pals over here.
There you go. They're all looking at you. They're one of them just licked his chops. I don't know. I think they're getting ready for dinner. But Benny, can you believe, a lot's gone on in a year. 2020, as we know, was crazy. And but it's been a year ago since Mandy Jones became our first PUSUSU champion of our game show.
Believe it or not, one person got a 140, the other person, they got a 141.
Wow.
No way.
So,
wow.
But nobody loses tonight. That's why I'm a Santa Gagoots. Second place winner with a 140 points. And I got a hat for you here. Kristen Tinsley. And for first place, Mandy Jones that gets a tiara. You better put it on.
Mandy Jones gets the crown of PUSUSU.
She gets a certificate. You win a paid spot on a Governor's Comedy Club. It's signed by everybody.
Thank you,
I'll give you a name later. I put in your name. I got to ask you how to
Very
spell.
nice. Yeah, can you believe it? That was great. We had Jackie the Joke Man, Joey Petroni, Sally
Right.
O'Neill were the judges. Kristen
Right.
Tinsley went up against Mandy Jones. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hear nothing. They laugh the same. Like they're like this, and whatever the graph is. The next night, if the audience sucks, it's like this. But like I just said, they're like this.
Right.
And I was rolling one night, and I'm killing this crowd in a basement in Jersey, packed in, and I know what I'm gonna get. And I told one of my favorite stupid jokes, and it got a laugh, but it didn't get the laugh that it should get in relation to where it is.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm on the way home, listening to my microcassette recorder, and I almost drove off the road because I was going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I left out the premise. And they still.
That happens.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Every episode that I was on, I had fun. But that one, the finale, was the greatest. It really was. It was a great feeling. Had fun finally meeting Jackie the Joke Man Martley. I never met him before. So
Yeah.
finally meeting him and actually having him say that he was entertained by my stupidity was a good feeling.
What was
that I
great
would, you know.
what was great was when Jackie first showed up to the show, he didn't know what to expect. He didn't really watch the shows prior, so he was there and he was figuring out as he went along, and midway through you could see it all click, and he started to really enjoy it and understand what we were doing. And by the end of it, he told me, and I think he told you as well, that he loved the show and that it was awesome and he loved what we're doing. And that meant a ton, because Jackie, I've been a fan of him pretty much my whole adolescent to adult life. So, having Jackie on the show was a huge way to cap off that finale. Jackie?
I like it.
Well, I immediately was impressed because I thought you actually dated Jeffrey Dahmer. Cool. But they told me nothing, so I had no idea if you were starting something that was going to go on, and all of a sudden I realized it was supposed to be short, and I thought it was perfect, but I don't know what to judge by, so I'm just gonna go with what he said, because you were funny and it worked, boom, 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 and it was great,
So you giving her a 9?
But I'm still thinking about Jeffrey Dahmer eating. Yeah, but that's weird. It doesn't leave any room.
I know.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
you can't give somebody the electric chair for jaywalking. You screw up the whole thing.
Right.
But I'm giving you a 9, and
A 9 from Jackie the Joke Man. Wow.
All right, nice job.
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to getting back and doing it again. And we are now, this is our last show before GOVS has a paywall. And there's going to be a lot more information about this coming up soon, but I just want everybody to know to please subscribe to GOVS Radio. Now you have to subscribe. I believe it's going to be a paid subscription. We're going to see how they're working it out. But for anyone who's confused, we have these top 5 reasons, and I'm going to show you them right now. This is top 5 reasons why you should subscribe to GOVS Radio. Here we go.
Und hello, Professor Fedora here. And I'm here live on Governor's radio station. And I'm here to tell you that starting March 1st, we're going subscription only. And here are the top 5 reasons why you should subscribe to see all the great shows here at GOVS. What's number 5?
Eventually, you're going to see me stroke the fuck out.
What's number 4?
Tasteful nudes of Anthony Rodia.
What's number 3?
The number 3 reason to subscribe to Governor's Radio is because I have a mouth to feed. My own. We need your money.
She's got a great point there. And she's very round. And you touch me so nicely. What's number 2? Come on.
You can watch a morning show with 3.5 legs.
Was that not a bad idea?
You have no idea where this is.
What's the number 1 reason is...
The number 1 reason is because it's GovsRadio.com. The best shows, the best comedians, they're all here at Govs Radio for a great price. Anthony Rodia and well, this guy, but Don and all the best shows.
It's awesome, baby! Yeah. Well, yeah, there you have it. So there's your reasons why you should subscribe. We're hoping everybody subscribes to the station. We have a lot of surprises and a lot of fun stuff that comes with the subscription. So yeah, we want to take it to the next level, taking the station to the next level. Governor's Comedy Club is 110% behind all of the shows that goes on here. So you get to see Anthony Rodia, Domestic Disturbance, Rhyme No Reason, Knock 'em Dead Comedy, Limo Talk, all the shows, all the ones that I'm forgetting at the moment, but they're all going to be there.
A lot of great shows. Let's just say a lot of great shows. It's really going to be worth it to subscribe to GOVS Radio.
Yeah, so everybody, that information is coming soon. We'll keep you posted in there. And I can't promise you that there's won't be any inappropriate things going on or inappropriate language, unlike the Muppets. The Muppet Show now is, I think they have a rating now, adult only.
There's a disclaimer. Right, isn't there? I read that they have a disclaimer telling you that, yes, there are there's some racial humor and there's some bad humor and humor that saying bad things about people and animals mistreating people and people mistreating animals, and we don't think it's right, but we want you to watch it anyway, so you can agree with us that it's not right. But we're not going to censor it. But we don't agree with it, and we think it's very bad.
Well, I just watched an episode. Yeah, I just recently watched a few episodes, and I have to say they might have a point, because I just found this clip right here. Check this out.
Give me your money, bitch.
Oh, calm down, bro.
You calm down. Just hurry up.
Are you a black guy?
Are you serious?
What?
What, just because I'm robbing you mean I'm black?
Well, I mean...
Why would you think that?
I don't know, maybe because you're robbing me and you're black?
Yeah, so you see, and also PETA is very upset too, because they don't like the way Ralph, the dog, plays the piano. They think he's a little out of tune, and that's just wrong. With the puppets, like for them now to get woke, and the SJWs are coming out, and now they want to put disclaimers on the puppet shows, and probably they're probably going to go through cartoons next, and everything else.
Listen.
And so it just, to me, it shows, Benny, that they're going to find something with everything, and pretty soon we're going to have a utopian vanilla world with a couple of nuts in the middle.
Yeah, a pseudo utopian. It won't be it'll be a pseudo utopia, because look, I got news for all of you. Bugs Bunny used to put on a dress, wear lipstick, and kiss men on the lips. Okay? Bugs
Now
Bunny,
that's
so
perfectly
all of a sudden-
acceptable. They wouldn't complain about that. They would love that.
All right, that's okay.
Oh, you're terrible.
Bugs Bunny didn't know what gender he was.
They would love that too.
Okay? That's all right. Bugs Bunny didn't have a gender. All right.
Yeah. But they don't like the Bugs Bunny if Bugs Bunny, if Bugs Bunny called Elmer Fudd a wop, I think they would not like that.
The first time ever all of a sudden, you didn't know this about the Muppets. You didn't know this. There were so many shows. You could find something. You could find so many movies and stuff that you could find a line in there. You could find something.
Well, if you were to go back with the SJW hat on, meaning, social justice warrior, and you're looking for something to be pissed off about, you could be angry at everything. Take from now and go all the way back to the beginning. You could have problems with every single TV show from the past, every single performance from the past, every movie from the past. You can have a problem with everything because you're looking for it. There's things really, like that you don't even know or realize that was went against the SJW code of ethics, and then other reasons, other things you're like, yeah, of course we went against the code of ethics. It's a comedy, you stupid.
Right.
Hey, this is Special Ed. Hey, Don and Betty. Yay! You're making the world a better place with your comedy, and everyone needs to check you guys out. Yay! Because Benny is old, and Don has messy hair. Yay! Hey, Benny, you're old. Do your balls hang really low? Yay! Benny's balls hang really low. Is your big boy hair gray now? Cause you're old? Yay! Yay! That's great. And Don has messy hair. I got messy hair too, but you can't tell most of the time because I'm wearing a helmet. Yay! Yay! Special Ed wears a helmet. That's great. Well, check out Don and Betty and check their stuff out because they're funny. Yay! I gotta go poop. Bye now, lady.
I don't like winter. I don't like winter. I hate winter. I'm originally from North Carolina, and look, right now, you guys are having beautiful weather, and thank you for doing that, okay? I love it. I hate winter so much, I'm for global warming. I am voting for it, marching for it. I might start buying people SUVs. I don't care. Ladies, start using hairspray again. No ozone. That's our goal. You know what's nice? 70 degrees in February. That's nice. And see, there's people with me, but there's always a couple of crunchy granolas sitting around. The crunchy granolas sitting there thinking, but the polar ice caps are gonna melt and we're all gonna flood. No, we're not. We're not all gonna flood.
Hey,
we're only losing Rhode Island, Long Island, and Jersey. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. My next guest is a very funny comedian who performs all over the country and is a warm-up act for daytime talk shows such as Revolution and Bethany, while also subbing in for Rachel Ray, The View, and Dr. Oz. His comedy special, The Whitest Guy in New York, is available at drybarcomedy.com.
Today's your
birthday.
Folks, the
one and only Mike
Happy
Burton.
birthday to
Mike, how
ya.
you doing, man?
Everything's good.
Today's your
Look at that.
birthday.
Are we both in our basements?
Happy birthday to
Mine
ya.
is a
Happy
a
birthday.
fake basement though. This is the set of Wayne's World.
I like. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
real. My,
Yeah,
this
you
is
got-
my fat head in front of a fat head.
Nice. I love it, man. I love it. So you got the special out, the whitest guy in New York. Is that possible? I know a lot of white guys. How are you the whitest?
It's actually it's called I Can Get Whiter.
Regular white guy. Watch this. Whiter.
I lived in Washington Heights, and so in that area, I always felt like I was the whitest guy in Washington Heights.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've been through Washington Heights.
Definitely the white guy stands out.
No, I think that's great because nowadays it feels like somewhere along the way being white became being like uncool or unhip or like out of touch. When did that happen, man?
Hey, I ain't got nothing against y'all. I just think y'all funny people. Just the way y'all walk cracked me the fuck up. Just be all tight and shit. How's it going, Jim? How's it going? Yeah. Steve. Hey, Bob. Yeah.
I think we are. I mean, it came with, like, as far as comedy goes. I mean, we've been made fun of for years. The black comedy, you can't dance, you're goofy, corny, all of that. I mean, that's been going on since I was a kid, since the 80s, 70s, 80s. We've always been the goofy, nerdy white guy.
Y'all can't dance.
How do we break that? We got to break that because I think we're cool dudes. I think me and you are cool guys, man.
I think there's some out there. There's not a lot of us, but there's definitely.
Yeah, there's a few of us that are still cool, holding the torch.
Sure.
Like, what's would you say is the coolest thing that you've done recently?
Anytime you get to perform live, that's pretty cool. Right now, I mean, the bar is so low right now You do a live show for 4 people. You're like, man, that was pretty cool. I got out there live again. So I don't know. That's it. Right now, the coolest thing is definitely being able to perform live, even for smaller audiences, because it's limited. Everybody's limited, no matter where you go, whether it's Pennsylvania, Jersey, whatever. In New York, the clubs aren't even open yet.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. It's really cool to do those live shows, to be able to hang with the comics again.
Yeah.
There's
the
nothing better than-
camaraderie. Yeah.
Yeah, hanging out with the comics. I miss that. I miss going and doing spots in the city, like at the comic strip, and you're sitting there, you're watching a game, you're hanging out with the guys. Somebody comes up and taps you and goes, "Hey, man, I just lit him, so you're on him too." And you're like, "No, I'm having more fun here." All right, fine. Go to the spot. But I miss that a lot. So it's definitely cool to be able to see people. Rarely, but you do get to hang a little bit.
Yeah, you do. The camaraderie is definitely missing. I think that's a thing that a lot of comics are feeling, because, like you said, there is outlets still. Like, you can do Zoom. You can get this outlets for your comedy, so you can do Zoom, or you can go to I don't know if you're based out of New York, but you could leave the state and go to Connecticut or New Jersey or wherever else is open, and perform for houses that are 25%. So it's a little bit weird, but at least you're getting out there, and like you said, you're getting that camaraderie.
Yeah, I've been out to Long Island a couple of times, and governors, brokerage governors, they were all set up for it. They did everything, and they're still, no, you can't do it, which just gives some common sense behind it. Just a little bit of common sense. That's all anybody's asking.
It's very frustrating. Yeah, because
a little bit of common sense. They had you behind plexiglass. They had the air purifiers, everything you could possibly want, and still they're like, nah, don't open.
It was crazy and ridiculous, and frustrating for the owners, the GOVS owners, the comedians, the staff, the audience members. They had a couple of little comedy rallies to try and get change Cuomo's mind and all that stuff.
We do miss being here, making everybody laugh, and all you comics and everyone else that we in the community that do fundraisers and benefits and all that stuff. Yeah, everybody's suffering over this here.
Like you said, we were equipped for it. It was in the backyard. We had a lot of successful shows coming through there. Were you there? Did you get a chance to perform at the backyard?
I didn't do that one. I did brokerage, but I went and hung out after. It was amazing. So many comics came around, people that definitely weren't on either show, but you had those comics plus other people. And then you had the guys that I worked with at brokerage come up a couple of miles just to hang out, just to talk. And comics are great because you can say anything you want, of course, and nobody gets offended. You're like, yeah, you said the worst thing ever. Who cares?
Yeah, it's great.
It's a liberating experience that everybody misses. And it's also one of those things where everybody says they miss being like away from home. When you travel all the time, you miss being away from home. But right now, for the last year, home too much. Like, this is too home. Like, not even going out on a weekend. You're used to going out on a weekend, and if not like a week, and cruises weeks at a time.
Yeah, right.
And just every day, it's like, I like my house, but not this much. You got to be kidding me.
Just hanging out, in the basement, just waiting for this COVID to end and get out there. Now, do you still travel now? Do you go out and perform at like Connecticut or other places, or you just kind of?
But not overnight. I don't stay anywhere overnight. I don't know that you trust places. I couldn't tell you the last time I spent the night somewhere. It had to be last March, April, or not April, but last March. March 14th was the last show I did before they shut everything down.
Yeah,
and then
wow.
I didn't do another show until June, late June, out in Jersey, and that was great. It was outside, and they thought they may get 75 people, and 180 people showed up. And they kind of spaced out or spread out and did what they could. But doing the show was great. Hanging with the comics was great. But I went up last, and so by the time I get up, it's dark. We started during the light. The lights are on, so bugs are all over the light, and I'm lit, so bugs are all over me. And I was like, "Yeah, we're not doing this a lot. This is not good."
If you think about it, though, like if we fast forward 10 years, 15 years from now, when you're talking to upcoming comics or whatever, or younger guy, you're going to be like, I was there. I did this. I performed, on rooftops and backyards and in drive-ins, and we had to do what we had to do to keep comedy going. And, comedy was so important in those times,
Yeah, those guys will never understand. It's like me talking to the guys that came up in the 80s, how there were clubs everywhere and everybody made great money. And I'm still like, nah, I don't really believe it. Come on. Everybody made money. Yeah, everybody made money.
It's crazy when you look at the 80s boom. Yeah, man. All those comedians, and a lot of them are still around. They're still doing it.
Yeah, I love those stories. Their stories are great. Their stories kill mine. Like born to Poughkeepsie one time and it was bad. Like these guys have just the best stories ever because there were clubs everywhere. Everybody was booked everywhere all the time, from Little Rock to Miami and then like head back to Minnesota. Whatever those shows and clubs are, they all knew them. They all did them. Oh yeah, you stayed in that place. And I just sit back and listen to those old guys, and I love it. I think they're phenomenal. They're great.
It was like debauchery at its finest. It was like everything, like those kind of stories are there. Those the people, the run-ins with people, all kinds of crazy stories, man. Was it Rich Scheider's book, I Killed?
Yeah.
That book has, if anybody wants to read some stories about some comedians, man, that one will get you. So that kind of stuff. And I could imagine for you, like you talk about camaraderie, talking with these guys and getting stories that aren't published in books is probably, probably
these
cool.
guys, it seemed like back then, they didn't care what you did. As long as you showed up for the show, you did the show, you could do whatever you wanted. There were no other rules. Just be here for the show. You can wear what you wore last night. We don't care. Just show up, do the show, and then do whatever you want to do. And I don't know that that's the case anymore.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more like you said, like we evolved or devolved from that into a little safer vibe nowadays. But when did you get into stand-up? How long have you been at it now? You've been, for a while, right?
95, 96. Started doing the open mics, got past it. Lucky enough to get past it at a couple of the clubs in the city. So, and then went full time in 2000.
The coolest audition I've ever been on was a voiceover audition, and those are cool because you'll talk for maybe 30 seconds and they'll send you money. This was the easiest one ever because all I had to do was walk in and say, Ford Explorer, no boundaries. That's it. That's all I had to do. Ford Explorer, no boundaries. So I do that. But the audition people are there, and they're like, well, we want you to play with it a little bit. Could you play with it? And they're like, really? All 4 words? They're like, no, you're a comic. You should improv with it. Can you improv? Like, I sure can.
Somebody sees you at a club, and they're like, I think you can do colleges. You're like, all right, I'll do colleges. And you have to do an hour. I don't have an hour, but that doesn't matter. You stand up there for an hour and do your thing, and all of a sudden you're making way more money than you were. But
wow.
Full time since 2000, which is nice. I mean, that's a huge luxury to have, and it hasn't always been great. You don't see things stopping. Like when you're doing colleges and you're booking all these colleges, you don't see that drying up. But all of a sudden, hey, I'm not doing it in colleges anymore. How am I going to make up that money? You're not for a while. You have to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
There's guys that are great at it, of course. And they're like, well, I'm doing movies now. Well, I'm not, so you figure it out. But I know that it's a luxury and it's very lucky to be able to make a living doing this for 20 years, 21 years.
Like if you don't know, if you ask a Latino, like you go, "Where's the bathroom?" They'll go, "They'll do that." Yeah. All right, and do you speak Spanish? Do you hablo? You do. Did you think I said, "Can you throw your voice"? How did that happen? We got one Latino. Do you speak Spanish? Yeah!
It's great. I've been lucky enough to work with some really great people that helped me out along the way. Somebody takes you on the road, and all of a sudden you learn how to do the road. Well, you've never performed outside the city or the tri-state area. Let's go to Canada. So it was
Did you have a mentor? Anybody in particular that kind of guided you through it?
I had some guys, not necessarily like that, where not anybody that I traveled with all the time like that, but I had Rod Reyes was a comic that took me on the road 2 weeks to Canada. Had never done anything like that, performing, must have been 7 shows. And then you have a couple of nights off, and then you start another 7 shows and come home. Drove with him up there and back, working with guys like Joey Cola. I hosted
Joey's best.
Joey Cola at the Stress Factory. Had to be 97, 98. Had no material. I mean, when you look back, you're thinking, "Oh man, I'm getting laughs," and now you're like, not even close. But working with guys like Joey, who it's a learning. You're talking between the shows, so you're learning that. But watching him on stage, work a crowd, and those bits.
Where'd they get the food from? Where did they get it? I don't understand. Wagging his whole body. Could you imagine being that happy? Even if the IRS made a mistake and gave me an extra $5 grand, I don't know if I could wag my whole body every time. Oh my God!
He could have closed on any bit, and everything built up, and it had the applause break at the end, and then he went into another one with an applause break at the end. There was no real, what is filler now. Like, here's a filler joke. You're gonna take a couple of minutes to get me to the end.
Right.
It was great watching it, and that was definitely a learning experience. And then watching somebody else go up and go, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Like, there was no payoff.
Right.
You're gonna tell a story with no payoff. I mean, that is not the way it's done.
Yeah, because you look at somebody like Joey, and like you said, how he kind of orchestrates every joke. Like you said, it kind of has a build, and then a punch, and then a tag, and then.
Cats don't give a shit. My cat is like, "Look, I threw up over there. The litter box smells. I'm taking a nap. You're an asshole." Oh yeah, here's something for you.
It is inspiring,
Every joke is a closer. You can close with anything, and I love that. Closers kind of work themselves out, like all of a sudden, okay, this is the best one. Let's just close with this.
Yeah.
Wrap everything up, and okay, this will be good. But to have those throughout is it's amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Joey's a comedy legend, Long Island superstar, and he's amazing. He's awesome.
Let it go, 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 Joe, let it go, hi ho.
When I did stand up for a little while, I from about 1998 through about 2000 ish, I was doing it here on Long Island, the brokerage, Governors, all the circuit. I bring a show at the Comedy Cellar, so I got to be on that stage once in my life. But yeah, man, it's not easy, but I'm glad I did it because I had the thrill of killing, of having a good show in my estimation at the time, 10 people laughing. But then I also know what it feels like to bomb, and how demoralizing that could feel. And every comedian bombs, especially in the beginning, but I think that you separate the men from the boys when the ones that can persevere through that, and that's a mental game. And I was not able to do it. What do you think's what would you tell advice you have for a comedian like in those shoes where he's bombing a lot, but do you tell him, okay, it's time to just let that dream go, or do you say salvage this kid and push forward and try to do it?
It's tough because I mean, there's different types, of course, of bombing. There's bombing because your material is awful and nobody likes it.
Right.
There's the bombs where everyone did well and you bombed, and then the next guy brought it back to a 10, and that's on you. That's your bomb. There's not where the audience is just bad and everybody has a rough set. Sometimes on those, there's one guy that can break them open, but you don't know who that's going to be, which comic's that going to be. So there's different things. There's, as a comic watching somebody bomb, especially a new comic, either they have it, like they have the material. You can see the materials there and they don't know how to perform it yet, or the opposite. You know, they can perform, but the material's awful. If you do one more fart joke, I swear to God, dude, like whatever that is going to be. My wife's on her period. Oh, great. This is going to be genius, everybody. Sit back.
My set, can I tell you my set that it was? This is, again, you got to remember, it's 1998, 90. Well, this is like 2000-ish.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into this set. Like, I'm not going to deliver it like I'm on stage. I'll just tell you what it was. Right. So, and it worked. I want to know from you if it was the material or from me or what. So some nights it worked, other nights it didn't work. And a lot of times, one particular time, people actually started walking out. All right. So you got to remember the time period. So it's like 2000, 99, 2000-ish. So remember that show Oz that they used to be on HBO, and it had a lot of frontal male nudity in it. So I'd be like, what's up with Oz, man? I've seen more cocks than I saw at the farmhouse or something like that. And then I get into gay people love this show. It's become a huge hit in the gay community. They all want to be arrested now and go to jail. And the crime rate's going up and all this stuff.
But now, as a result of this, the gay community is loving this show. They can't get enough of it. And now the crime rate in the gay community is going through the roof because all the gay guys want to get to the big gay orgy in Oz. Just the other day, the gay guy got caught stealing. He's like, "That's right, officer, I did it. Guilty as charged. Lock me up and throw away the key. Call me Dorothy and send me to Oz."
The reason why they were walking out in that other show was because there was a predominantly gay audience that night, and I didn't know about it. I also followed a juggler that night too, but so I had a few things going against me. But yeah, that was pretty much the material, and then I forget what else I had, but that was my main stuff. That was like my big closers. Because then I did like this whole thing about Dorothy
Gay
and
guys love Oz. I can't imagine that audience not liking it.
See, I just wish I had people like there was a lot of camaraderie even amongst us open micers at that time, and some of them are still friends to this day, but we didn't really critique each other's work. I wish they did.
Yeah, it's hard because it's a personal thing. That's a tough thing for somebody to especially from somebody on your level, or where it's some new guy who's telling somebody 2 years in, it'd be better if you did this. Nobody wants to hear that. It's a very personal thing. You have to be able to take it, but and comics aren't necessarily the best with being tactful.
Right.
Most comics, man, that sucked. Did you hear them not laugh? That was a lot of not laughing going on. Ooh, it's just part of the deal.
Well, that's what happened. And some of the comedians that night were mad at me because the audience was walking out, and there was still a lot of comics left. So that was one of the last ones I did. I think I did 2 more shows after that. And then slowly, and I could never get my confidence back up because I used to be like, swag city up there. And then after that bomb and they walked out. I mean, oh my God, it was demoralizing. Yeah.
I had a bomb so bad. I took a friend with me, and he was one of those guys before I ever got on that he was one of those guys who was the reason that I got into stand-up. We talk about it all the time. We would watch it back in the 80s, that half-hour comedy hour, all those things, Carlin specials, Eddie Murphy specials, of course. So he moves up to New York. He's hanging out with me. We're going to the different clubs and stuff. But I said, let's go to an open mic so you can see what it's like. I said, I'll go up. You don't have to go up. You can go up next time. But I tell every new comic who's never gone up, go up and watch first, see how it's run, see what your material would be. Is it as good as what you're seeing? And there's going to be some good and some really not good.
Right.
And so he watched me and I bombed hard. And I was trying all new stuff to where even like the host of the show heckled me, said something to me that threw me off even more. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so my friend saw me bomb so hard, he never ever got up. His whole plan was we were going to run the world together. We're going to run around the country. And he's like, nah, yeah, if you do that, there's no way. Well,
right.
So he's like, no, man, if that can happen to you, then I'm definitely not going. So I ruined somebody else's career before it even started.
Yeah, you know, people inspire in different ways. No, but you managed to move through it, and here you are now, seasoned veteran in the game. You know, is it harder now, do you think, to get into stand up with the temperature of the world, with the the SJWs out there and the PC culture and cancel culture? Do you think comedians could be as edgy, especially coming out of the gate when they're not famous yet?
That's hard. It's hard right now, but you have all the avenues that we didn't have, and I still don't use, which is YouTube and all of that, for comics to get famous before they've ever hit a stage.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
So they show up and they still can't do the job. I'd still much rather watch somebody who had to go through the ranks, open mics, hell gigs, bar gigs, shit shows, and put a set together that's going to work anywhere, and then you become what you become. Guys like Norton and Attell, when you see the young guys who come out and immediately want to do that, they don't know how to do it yet. And it took those guys a long time to learn exactly how to do it. And to get the laughs and not just turn an audience off. There's a way to do it, and these guys found it, and they're great at it. Geraldo could be filthy, but he was great. I never saw anybody walk out going, fuck that guy. Like that, it could have. I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
But he had great bomb stories. That's one of those guys that I miss. But it's everybody, like you said, everybody's bomb. Everybody has bomb stories. You're only as good as your last show. So you bomb, you better get up again. I did well one time. I was just telling this story. This is fun. I used to do Dangerfield, and I did it for a few years, and it was awful. Like nobody enjoyed going to Dangerfield. Jim Norton, of all people, before I ever got past there, he goes, right. Dangerfield is where jokes go to die. And he was exactly right, and it was brutal. So I did this show there, just a regular spot on a Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever it was, and I walked out one of the very few times going, man, that was great. Like that was like doing comedy in a comedy club. And that never happened there. So I leave, and a friend of mine was running an open mic near my apartment up in Washington Heights. Hey, can you come up and do a couple of minutes? I'm like, sure. And so I get up there. She goes, okay, you're going to close it out. And I watched a friend of mine that I know, and I know he's a great comic, and he was eating it. He was eating it hard. And I turned to her, I said, I'm not going on. And she said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not going up there. I said, I had a rare, good set at Dangerfield, and I don't want to wash that off immediately. I'm going to let that sit for a minute or two. I'm not going up there to have it just eaten away. I'm not doing that. Because you're really not going to go on? I said, I promise you won't see me up there tonight. So he closed it out with a bomb, but nobody else was going to do better. There's no way I'm going to bring it back. It was just a bad crowd. Like I know that guy and how good he is and the energy he put. He was giving it everything, and he was getting nothing. And I was like, fuck those people. There's no way I'm going up there.
You were smart, because it would have ruined your night. We took away the glow that you were basking in. Yeah, why go through that? Why do that to yourself? That's a ballsy move too, you know, because it's you're there and you gotta say no to the booker's face. Hey, I'm not doing it. Nope. But I commend you for that. That's a lesson that I hope some of these younger people are watching right now. You don't have to always
Every now
take.
and then you have to say no. It's a hard thing. When you start out, it's a hard thing. When you've been in it for a while, that first time you say no, you're like, man, I just said no to something. I'm not going to drive 800 miles for $50. That's right. I said no. But there's plenty of guys who do it. Everybody did it when you start out.
Yeah, when you start out, you want to get all the FaceTime you can. You work for free or gas money or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I did have that one paid gig in my short stand-up career. I had one paid gig at a bar in Queens, and it was a couple comics there, all same kind of open micers, and the people were pissed off that we had turned the TVs off. It was just all that, and you just go up there, you perform, no one's paying attention but the other comedians, and yeah, that was fun, but it got paid like $20 because I had my gas money. Yeah, so then I was like, hey,
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, God. Let me show. Give it up with one, everybody. Thanks a lot. Hey, Donald Silk. Yeah, Donald Silk. We are keeping this show rolling right along.
Well, Mike, thanks again, buddy, for taking the time. Tell everybody where they could find you and follow you and all that good stuff.
Just go to MikePBurton.com. You have to throw the middle initial in there because there's an LA Mike Burton, but the New York Mike Burton is MikePBurton.com.
MikePBurton.com. Thanks again, Mike. I truly appreciate it, and love to have you back on, man. You know,
Anytime.
It'd be great. All right. Thanks again. Mike Burton, everybody.
So we're all going 2 miles an hour so you don't die, okay? And you drive, and then on the side of the road, they had a big flashing yellow sign. Caution, caution, really? Thank you. All right. So I keep going, and then there's a big flashing yellow sign up further. Caution, beware of squalls. Squalls! What's a squall? I'm in the middle of nowhere. I could die at any minute. But now I gotta be on the lookout for some lost Indian woman with an Amber Alert?
What's that I see on the TV? Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up is on the TV. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Don and Benny, they're awesome.
Well, hello, Dr. Fedora back again. But you're probably wondering the proper way to wear the 3-mask rule, which I'm going to show you today in 3 easy steps, which is the classic. Number 1, go ahead, cover your nose, your bottom of your mouth. Well, here comes the second mask, which is the proper way to make sure you get that proper fat underneath your neck covered, and you don't get any germs from all the people that want to make out with you. Put it under your neck like that. And then you cover the bottom half of your chin like that. What's the third mask? Very important. What's the best way to make sure you get no corona or anything, even knowledge into your mind? You go ahead and put it on like this. Whew. And then you're ready to go ahead and go on with your day for a walk.
Yeah, look, I'm making friends with Martians. Come on.
Look at you. You up there in Mars, just
I'm
enjoying
on another
life.
planet, and I made friends with the locals.
Yeah, there you go. Living life. And they're all sitting there. They're waiting for us to get finished here. So that is the show for today, Benny.
And what a show it was, my friend. What
Another
a show
great
it
one.
was.
Remember, everybody, next week to subscribe to the paywall here at GOVS Radio. Yeah, I mean, subscribe to us too. Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. After this, all of our shows will be exclusive to GOVS Radio. So this will be, just go on there, and we might have a couple different things on there. So just check us out on our YouTube page, subscribe, and also continue going to teespring.com, where you can get all your GOVS gear. Just go to teespring.com, GOVS Radio, and you'll see all the shows and all the merch from all the shows. Thanks again, everybody. We hope to see you next week. And Benny, as always, you're awesome, pal.
No, buddy, you're awesome.
No, you're awesome.
You are illuminatingly awesome.
You're the best.
You're
Wow.
spectacularly awesome.
Wow.
I couldn't even get that out.
Well, thanks so much, everybody. Benny, enjoy the rest of your time in Mars with the Martians, and we will see you next week, my friend.
See you next week, everybody. Have a great week.
Peace,
So
everyone.
long, my man.
Yeah.
Peace.